shall cause
thy message to reach all the corners of the earth.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to a brand new episode of RoundUp, where we bring you the latest stories, segments and headlines from all around the world. But before we get started, me and Ghani would love to wish you a happy new year.
We hope and pray that your lives this year are full of joy, positivity and success. But to get cracking with today's episode, we've got an exciting lineup for you today. From global events to the beauty of nature. Let's take a look at what this episode's all about.
We begin with a look back at some of the blessed moments from the recent Jalsa Qadian. Then we bring you an exclusive report from Jalsa Nigeria. Finally, we head to Mauritius for a special feature on the stunning Flamboyant Trees.
Let's start by catching up on this week's top stories. Jazib is here to give us a quick overview of what's happening around the world. Assalamu alaikum, Jazib. How are you doing today?
Welcome, Nasser Ghani Bhai. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well and it's great to be back. Let's get on with today's headlines. In Damascus, Syrians welcomed the new year with fireworks at a vibrant Christmas market, waving flags and capturing the moment. This celebration marks a hopeful beginning after historic changes. On December 8, 2024, rebel forces took control of Damascus, ousting President Bashar al-Assad, who fled to Russia, ending 13 years of civil war and the Assad family rule. The United Nations estimated over 300,000 civilian deaths by 2021, with reports of torture under Assad's government. Now, as the nation rebuilds, Syrians are looking ahead with hope for a peaceful and prosperous future. On December 29, 2024, a Jeju airplane crashed at Muan International Airport in South Korea, killing 179 people. The plane, a Boeing 737-800, was attempting a belly landing when it skidded off the runway and exploded. The crash is South Korea's deadliest in over 20 years. Investigators are looking into the cause, including the possibility of a bird strike affecting the engines. Since the tragedy, South Koreans have been mourning the victims. Memorials have been set up in Seoul, and a national mourning period is in place. The government is also checking all Boeing 737-800 planes for safety. And finally, researchers in England have uncovered over 200 dinosaur footprints from the Middle Jurassic era at Dewa's Farm Quarry. These tracks, dating back 166 million years, include 5 extensive trackways, one stretching over 150 meters. 4 were made by gigantic long-necked dinosaurs called sauropods. Interestingly, the tracks of carnivores and herbivores cross at one point, sparking the questions about possible interactions between the species. The site offers incredible insights into the movements and behaviours of dinosaurs in this era. Those are the headlines for this week. Back to you, Nasser Ghani Bhai. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah, Jazib, for keeping us informed and up to date.
Next, we're turning our attention to Jalsa Salana Qadian, a special event held in the hometown of the Promised Messiah alayhi salam, bringing together thousands of people in unity and devotion.
Well, we have a report for you covering all the key moments and highlights from this blessed gathering. Let's take a look at it now.
It's a cold, frosty morning here in Islamabad, but hundreds of people have braved the weather to hear beloved Huzur address the final session of Jalsa Salana Qadian 2024. It all started with just 75 people in Qadian in 1891, when the very first Jalsa Salana was held in the presence of the Promised Messiah alayhi salam. Now, this Jalsa in a small town in India is live streamed across the globe, with many thousands of people tuning in. The opening session started with tilawah and nazm.
जो राज थे बताए नेमुल अता यही है.
After which, beloved Huzur delivered a faith-inspiring address.
हज़रत मसीह मौला अलैहिस्सलाम फरमाते हैं, मैं हमेशा ताज्जुब की निगाह से देखता हूँ कि ये अरबी नबी जिसका नाम मोहम्मद है सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम, हज़ारों हज़ार दरूद और सलाम उस पर, ये किस आली मर्तबे का नबी है, उसके आली मुकाम का इंतहा मालूम नहीं हो सकता और उसकी तासीर कुदसी का अंदाज़ा करना इंसान का काम नहीं। अफसोस कि जैसा हक़ शनाख्त का है बजूज़ इसके मर्तबा को शनाख्त नहीं किया गया। वो तौहीद जो दुनिया से गुम हो चुकी थी, वही एक पहलवान है जो दोबारा उसको दुनिया में लाया। उसने खुदा से इंतहाई दर्जे पर मोहब्बत की और इंतहाई दर्जे पर बनी नौ की हमदर्दी में उसकी जान गुदाज हुई। इसलिए खुदा ने जो उसके दिल के राज का वाकिफ़ था, उसको तमाम अम्बिया और तमाम अवलीन और आखरीन पर फजीलत बख्शी और उसकी मुरादें उसकी ज़िंदगी में उसको दी। वही है जो सरचश्मा हर एक फैज़ का है और वो शख्स जो बग़ैर इकरार व इफ़ाज़ा के किसी फजीलत का दावा करता है, वो इंसान नहीं बल्कि ज़ुर्रियत शैतान है।
Many other countries who were holding their jalsas had also tuned in to Huzur's address. Beloved Huzur then announced that more than 16,000 people attended the Jalsa in Qadian, with a further 3,300 joining in from Islamabad.
यहाँ भी अल्लाह के फजल से इस वक्त 3,388 की हाज़िरी है। अच्छा, आप कादियान वाले
हम दो सना ज़ेबा है प्यारे।
After the Jalsa, beloved Huzur walked around Islamabad and lovingly greeted the Ahmadis who had gathered to attend the final session of Jalsa Salana Qadian. Hundreds of them waved at Huzur while the sounds of Nare Takbir could be heard all around. As the year came to an end, Ahmadis the world over were inspired by these words of Huzur and will start the new year with a renewed sense of faith.
What an inspiring event. It's always nice to see the community gather in unity and faith.
Absolutely. It's an incredible reminder of global brotherhood in our Jamaat.
Indeed. Now let's move on to reflect over the key teachings from this week's Friday sermon delivered by Hudur Aydallahu Ta'ala bin Nasir Aziz.
Rahil and Rashman will break down the highlights for us in our weekly Friday sermon discussion. Let's join them.
Assalamu alaikum. Today we're diving into something truly inspiring, financial sacrifice in Islam.
It's such a powerful subject, and beloved Huzur Aydallahu bin Nasir Aziz shared incredible insights in his recent Friday sermon. Let's start with the verse he recited. Never shall you attain to righteousness unless you spend out that which you love, and whatever you spend, Allah surely knows it well. That's from the Holy Quran, chapter 3, verse 93.
This verse reminds us that true righteousness comes when we give up what's dearest to us. It's not just about giving anything, it's about giving what we love most, like our wealth. And why is that? Because it helps us detach from materialism and earn Allah's pleasure.
Huzur Aydallahu bin Nasir Aziz explained that financial sacrifice is a hallmark of faith. He gave examples from early Islam when companions of the Holy Prophet ﷺ would sacrifice not only their wealth but even their lives. And it's incredible how the same spirit continues today in the Ahmadi Muslim community.
One story stood out for me. Huzur mentioned a man whose financial situation was bad. He had just enough money to restart his business, but he decided to donate it instead. And guess what happened? He received such a large order afterward that it completely turned his business around. It's amazing how Allah rewards those who trust Him.
Huzur also highlighted the Waqf Jadid scheme. Did you know that even children contribute to this? In some places, people donate eggs for their chickens because that's all they have, and yet the spirit of sacrifice is unmatched.
What's even more fascinating is how these funds are used. Huzur shared that through Waqf Jadid, the community supports mosques, mission houses and humanitarian projects worldwide. There are over 7,900 mosques in Africa alone. That's incredible.
And let's not forget the 306 new mosques under construction and the 1,860 mission houses. It's all made possible by these acts of sacrifices. Huzur emphasized that even in today's materialistic world, many Ahmadis make immense sacrifice, living simply so they can contribute more.
Beloved Huzur also reminded us that financial sacrifice isn't just for this world, it's an investment in the hereafter. God ensures that what we store with Him is returned when we need it most, in the afterlife.
That's such a profound lesson. And speaking of lessons, Hazur urged everyone to pray for the global situation. From wars to injustices by powerful nations, he prayed that Allah protects the innocent and establishes peace and unity.
Hazur also said that people celebrate the new year with fireworks and only care about their own happiness. However, we should also remember the pain of others. So what are today's takeaway points?
1. True righteousness comes from sacrificing what you love most, like wealth. 2. Financial sacrifices bring blessings both in this world and the next. 3. These sacrifices support vital projects like mosques, missions and humanitarian aid.
Perfectly summed up, Ursman. And for all our viewers, let's reflect on how we can embody the spirit of sacrifice in our own lives.
That's a wrap for today's discussion. Until next time.
Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah Rohail and Ursman for the highlights. The weekly Friday sermon is a wonderful source of spiritual guidance and inspiration.
Definitely, Nasir. And it offers many lessons for our lives. That's why it's important that we always watch the full sermon. Make sure to catch up if you missed it.
Up next, we're heading over to Nigeria, where the Jama'ah recently held its annual Jalsa Salana. Let's take a look at the highlights of this blessed gathering.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear viewers. Guess what? It's another annual National Jalsa Salana Nigeria holding in Ilaro, Ogun State, Southwest Nigeria, from Friday the 20th to Sunday the 22nd of December 2024. This year's Jalsa is very special, as it marks the Platinum Jubilee, that is 70 years of Jalsa Salana in Nigeria. I can't wait to meet my old friends and make new friends and increase my spirituality in this year's Jalsa. You see, I'm about to travel 5 hours from my residence just for this occasion. Stay tuned as I update you on this year's Jalsa's activities. Assalamu alaikum, my dear viewers. As you can see, I have arrived at the venue of this year's Jalsa, which is Jamiatul Mubashirin in Ilaro, Ogun State. I'll just be going to register myself for this year's Jalsa. So see you later. As you can see, I've just registered myself for this year's Jalsa. So right now, I'll be expecting the programs and very soon the Friday sermon of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih, which will also be summarized by the Amir. My dear viewers, this is the main Jalsa, where all the main Jalsa proceedings will take place. And any moment from now, the participant will partake in Jumu'ah prayers, after which will follow a live proceeding of the Friday sermon delivered by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V. May Allah be his helper.
ये दिन बरकतों के खुदा की इनायत और शफ़क़तों के ये जलसा हमारा मसीह ज़मां के जो मेहमान.
Dear viewers, as you can see, we are at the main Jalsa, where we are currently awaiting the arrival of Amir Sahib and the other dignitaries to commence the flag hoisting ceremony. These are members of Majlis Qudam al-Ahmadiyya, known as the Guard of Honor, who are currently awaiting the arrival of Amir Sahib and other dignitaries from other countries to kickstart the flag hoisting ceremony, which will officially kickstart the opening session of the 70th Jalsa Salana Nigeria. Stay tuned as we update you on more events.
If you conduct yourselves accordingly and by self-reflecting and reassessing your everyday deeds and actions, you will become increasingly better Ahmadi Muslims.
Today is another beautiful day at the main Jalsa, as you can see here. We are about to commence the second session of the Jalsa Salana proceedings. Follow me and stay tuned as we update you on the Jalsa's proceedings from now on.
Through your commitment to the teachings of Islam and the principles of peace, tolerance, and service to humanity, You have established thousands of schools, hospitals, mosques, and mission centers, which have become an integral and indispensable part of the Nigerian social fabric.
Allah Ta'ala revealed to Rasul al-Karim Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that he should convey the message that he has received from Allah. Our duty is to convey the beautiful message of Islam and call people to Islam.
My dear viewers, the third session of Jalsa Salana Nigeria 2024, the 70th of its kind, is currently ongoing, as you can see at the main Jalsa. Follow us for more updates on the Jalsa proceedings. Here, as you can see, the closing session of Jalsa Salana Nigeria 2024 is currently ongoing on the last and final day of Jalsa. Follow us and stay tuned as we give you the roundup of everything that has happened in the Jalsa so far up to this point.
Yesterday, just one example which covers all other examples. When the AJ of Ankara said that in my kingdom there is space for Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat. Therefore, it is up to us to able to now carry on our tabligh with maximum ease.
Alhamdulillah, this 70th Jalsa Salana Nigeria 2024 has finally come to a close. You see, this program was packed with a lot of spiritual activities, the highlight of which was the lecture of the second session, delivered by Dr. Said Olurutimitimehin. This lecture showed us the importance of being a mercy for all mankind by following the example of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. From Friday the 20th to Sunday the 22nd of December has been a whole lot of educational and spiritual mind-blowing activities. The tardin for this year was 36,284, which was more than 5,000 people than last year. This just shows that the Jamaat is growing from strength to strength, and may Allah continue to let it be so. From us here at MTA Nigeria Studios, my name is Sumona Atal Salam, and until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What a heartwarming event. It's so nice to see members of the Jamaat coming together to reflect and strengthen their faith.
Absolutely, Ghani. The Jalsa atmosphere is really uplifting, leaving a lasting impact on everyone who attends.
Next, let's head over to Mauritius for a stunning feature on flamboyant trees.
Known for their vibrant colours, these trees are a breathtaking sight. Let's take a closer look.
Today, we will talk about a magnificent tree, the Flamboyant. Let us meet Zishan and Kaiser to find out more about it. Assalamu alaikum, guys.
Wa alaikum salam.
Did you know the Flamboyant is emblematic to Mauritius?
Yes, indeed. It's very special for Mauritius because due to its several colors that it has in its flower, it was first brought from Madagascar to Mauritius. Its scientific name is also Telonyx regia. Thus, it is a very nice species of colorful flowers. As you can see in this flower, it has several shades of yellow, red and orange, a very unique style of flower. So this is a very unique aspect of this flower, and due to the several shades in it, it becomes very colorful in the summer period.
Yes, of course. And did you guys know that scientifically, the flamboyant is just as interesting? It is a tree from the Fabaceae family which helps enrich the soil. This tree can grow to a height that is up to 12 to 15 meters. This is huge. It has a huge canopy, wide canopy that provides lots of shade. The flowers are vibrant. They are red, yellow and even orange. They are not just beautiful, but they are vibrant to attract pollinators like bees and butterflies.
Yes, indeed, very true. And also its fruit, that long brown pod, is very unique. And moreover, it's also called the flame tree because of its vivid colors.
Indeed, Zahir, this is called a flame tree because of its very nice vibrant colors that resemble the flame a lot. But what's very interesting, Islam talks about these trees, these colorful trees, and more specifically trees in general. So what does it say exactly?
Yes, in Islam, trees are actually considered to be a blessing. Once, the Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said that planting a tree is considered to be a form of sadaqah, a continuous form of charity. The tree is its majesty and its role in protecting the ecosystem perfectly reflect the beauty and the balance that Allah of the Almighty has created for us.
Yes, that is true, Zishan. By admiring a tree like this, one cannot help but remember the greatness of Allah Ta'ala.
Yes. Tree starts just like a small plant, a herbaceous plant, but then it grows till it becomes 12 meters long, as Zishan said. So this shows us how patiently it grows, so how we also must be patient to have an excellent result. And now when we see this, it's very magnificent, these trees.
And the majesty, just look at the long branches spreading like a parasol and the beautiful, vibrant flowers. They just look like flames. And look around you, the green, lush foliage. No wonder that so many artists and poets are so inspired by this gorgeous tree.
That's true. This kind of tree can never go unnoticed. This shows us that beauty and the grandeur of Allah can also be found in nature.
You're right, Zahir. The majesty of this tree is indeed very noticeable. But it is our responsibility now. Allah has given us the gift of such nice trees. We must keep these trees in a very good environment. We must not pollute the other trees, and we must give it all the nurturing it needs so that it continues to bloom so nice flowers. So it is our responsibility to keep our environment clean near these trees.
Well said, guys. Whether through its history, science, or spiritually, the Flamboyant is just a beautiful treasure.
Of course, we should all admire and learn from the nature. We should appreciate the blessing of Allah Ta'ala. Jazakallah to you both. We had a nice discussion. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What a stunning display of nature's beauty. These trees are truly a sight to behold.
Yes, it's fascinating to see these trees brighten up the Mauritian scenery.
Unfortunately, that brings us to the end of today's roundup. We hope you enjoyed the stories and features.
Don't forget to join us again next week for more global news, stories, and exciting segments.
And make sure to stay connected by checking out our social media for behind-the-scenes content and updates on future episodes. But until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
I shall call, oh I shall call, I shall call, oh I shall call, I shall call. Thy message to reach all the corners of the earth. Oh I shall call, oh I shall call, I shall call, oh I shall call, I shall call. Thy message to reach all the corners of the earth. Oh I shall call, oh I shall call, I shall call, oh I shall call, I shall call. Thy message to reach all the corners of the earth.